Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Williams Road to Glory here today, and we are here for the Canadian Grand Prix round 5 of the season. And so far it's been a pretty explosive start, and I'm very excited to see what happens next. The shortened calendar has really kind of spiced things up and made it quite exciting and quite unpredictable, so I'm really enjoying it so far. If you guys missed the previous episode at Monaco, we used a custom intense rain spray mod. It made it quite difficult to see, so if you haven't seen it, I'll leave that one linked up in the top right, so go check the previous episode out. But today we're here at Canada and we have a chance to hopefully, fingers crossed, spoiler alert, extend our championship lead. So yeah guys, we're going to jump into the action here. If you're excited for the video, like, subscribe, let's try and hit over 1,000 likes and let's see what happens. Here we are then, back in business, and once again another race weekend to tackle. Now this one we have a bit of rain expected towards the very end of the race, which could actually throw a bit of a spanner in the works. We look at the development chart and we bring a minor upgrade this weekend. The big movers are McLaren, who take a big step forward in the midfield. Mercedes still comfortably out front and dominant as ever. And then just to confirm, we do have an ultimate chassis upgrade on the way, which is massive, so that's going to help us pretty much draw level with Red Bull, so that's going to be a huge upgrade for us in terms of outright performance, and it's going to, fingers crossed, help push our total charge forward. So yeah, we jumped into practice, had a decent session all round, scored over 1,000 R&D points between myself and George, and things were looking very good heading into qualifying. Momentum was on our side. We won the last race in Monaco. Russell got his, I believe, first podium in P3, so there's a lot of positivity right now in the team, and we're flying in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. We're P1 in both, so like I said, there's lots of reasons to feel optimistic and confident heading into this qualifying session. We move to Q1 though, and again, in Canada, the big challenge here this weekend is going to be track limits. We are running these strict corner cutting rules, and around here you can pretty much cut or extend every single corner except for about two of them. So that final chicane being the toughest of the lot, it's so hard to not invalidate through that final chicane. So yeah, in Q1 we set a decent banker, a nice safe lap. We go P5 with the 1 minute 6.5, a 10th behind George Russell, who's in P6, and both Mercedes leading the way there in the 105s and comfortably faster than everybody else. So a pretty standard Q1. We then move into Q2. I tried my luck on the medium tyres on my first run, and again, I mentioned it in the last episode, but we're starting to get that confidence now, and taking a risk with the mediums. But you can see through there, I actually invalidate through the final chicane. We're going to finish a lap anyway, just to get a delta to aim for, and it wouldn't have been a spectacular lap anyways. We let Albon through, and yeah, we're going to go again. So this was my final attempt, and we're currently P15 at last, so we need to deliver this lap. But again, the strict corner cutting limits, we pay the price. I cut a little bit on the left-hander and we get an invalidation, so I quickly turned the engine down, saved the fuel that I had, and we're going to go for one more push lap, and the pressure is on. We've got no more time or fuel for another lap, and if we invalidate, it's game over. So down towards turn 1, third gear corner, aggressive over the curb, keep the car nice and tight through 2. We've got Verstappen here leaving the pit exit. Hopefully he'll move to one side. Down towards 3 and 4, very easy to cut the left and the right and the left through here. Another 2 corners where you can easily get caught out. Flat out through 5 into 6 and 7. This left-hander again, quite easy to take a bit too much inside curb and invalidate. We do a good job though and get some nice traction on the exit, and we're about a 10th up compared to the last lap, so we're actually even faster this time round. Through this next right-left, this time we keep it within the track limits, and left a bit on the table there, just playing nice and safe to make sure we don't make a mistake. Into the hairpin, 100-meter board, down to first gear, and then short shifting out on the exit to try and get the power down nice and smoothly as we now wait for the DRS here for this long back straight. Approximately 10 to 15 seconds, full throttle, and then you're going to pick out your braking point, the 50-meter board, hit the brakes into the chicane, 5th gear, tip over the curbs, brush the wall of champions, and that is going to be a pretty decent lap of Canada. We set a 1 minute 5.9 and go P2 with that lap. So good stuff all round. Both cars into Q3, Russell in P5 as well. Mercedes still leading the way, Bottas P1, but not as fast as Q1. Hamilton opting for the mediums in P4. But in Q1, I think Hamilton did a 105.4, so Mercedes not quite as fast in Q2. The big surprise in that session though, Verstappen out in P13 for Ferrari. And we now move into Q3, and my best lap of Q3 was actually my first run. So let's go for another lap. This time I'll let you guys enjoy the engine sound, so you guys enjoy the lap of Canada. There we go, across the line, and it's not a spectacular lap. It's a 1 minute 6.2. It really isn't that great. We're currently P3. I went for another lap, but again, track limits is here to, it's here to stay, and we pay the price for cutting the right-hander at turn 3 just a bit too much. And I didn't have any more time left to go for another lap because the checkered flag had already dropped. So yeah, disappointing in the end, and not just myself, George Russell as well. We both really underperformed. If you compare George's pace in Q2 and Q1 compared to Q3, we both dropped the ball massively. We should have easily been P3 and P4 probably, just ahead of Albon, who went P3 the 106.0. My Q2 lap would have been enough to get P3 as well, so yeah, not a good qualifying in the end. We really messed up Q3, and we're going to start P6 and P8. The good thing is though, it's a two-stop race. You can overtake around here, and there is a chance of rain, so the race is still up for grabs. After qualifying, Hamilton picks up a point advantage in the driver rivalry, and that's looking pretty strong in his favour right now, and we're also going to gain a little bit of driver acclaim. But anyway, that's it for qualifying, guys. We're now going to move into the race here for the Canadian Grand Prix.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average lap speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Gasly, Sergio Perez, Martinez, Kvyat, Russell, Norris, and Charles Leclerc, Stroll, Sainz, Max Verstappen and Ocon, Ricciardo, De Vries, Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, Matsushita, and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Okay, here we are then, guys, on the grid. P6 for us on the third row, and most of our rivals are ahead of us. It wasn't a great qualifying. Q3 didn't really go according to plan, and I didn't really maximise the pace of the car. So we're going to have a bit of a tricky race in our hands, but I feel optimistic we'll have better race pace and we can kind of fight back through the field. Strategy-wise, soft, medium, soft here today. A two-stop is definitely the way to go. It's much quicker than a one-stop. But we have that rain forecast, which could spice things up towards the end of the race. It is already overcast as we start the race with 0.8 laps of fuel. You can see the skies are pretty dark, so we're going to be looking at the sky the entire race here today. For now though, starting us off, the plan is to try and be a little bit aggressive, see if we can use these tyres to make a few moves and try and get close to those podium positions really and make it 5 podiums out of 5, I believe, in all of the races so far. So let's jump into it, let's see what happens, and we're going to see if we can try and turn things around here at Canada. Right, this is it. I'm going to try maximum revs as we get ready for the 5 lights. Lights out, away we go. That's a good start, I'm happy with that. That actually worked out quite well for us. Into turn 1 though, going to be a little bit careful as we go side by side with Sergio Perez in the AlphaTauri. Kind of getting boxed in there, got Fiat behind looking for a move as well. Had a bit of contact on the left front, but luckily no damage for us as we go into the chicane. Perez is a bit slow, we're going to go around the outside. Again, no damage, I thought I may have brushed the wall there, but luckily we're okay. So we've actually made up a place, very nice move, and Perez getting forced out there by Pierre Gasly. Looks like we're going to be under pressure here into this next brake zone. Perez trying to come back at us again. As we go side by side, I'm going to just put the squeeze on. We hold on to P5, so we consolidate that position for now. We're going to see if we can close up to the cars ahead. Looks like, yeah, Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen and Gasly. The top 4 really, the 4 fastest guys are all up there. Yellow flag behind at the hairpin. I'm guessing that's just because everyone's going really slow. But a good start for us actually, you know, considering it was a bit of a tricky one. There's not a lot of space at Canada. We've actually gained a place, so happy with that. Now, the key thing here, as you saw in qualifying, is going to be track limits. We're going to have to be very careful to not get a penalty this race, and that's easier said than done. So my pace won't be as fast as it could be. I'm going to try and rein it in a little bit and just try and drive a bit safely to avoid getting that time penalty, because that could prove to be decisive in this race. That was a good lap from me there. 1 minute 9.2. Purple sector 3. Trying to get back within DRS of the cars ahead, which is proving to be quite difficult. I'm dragging Perez with me, but not for long. Hopefully we'll drop him soon. Russell up to P7 as well, so he's making a bit of progress. We'll see if he can get into the race. I feel like both cars have a bit more pace to give, so let's see if that's the case. And there's the first warning. Not ideal. Didn't think that was a full on, but fair play, whatever. Okay, it's kicking off up ahead. Albon just got overtaken by, I believe, Bottas, and now Gasly's getting in on the action, so both Red Bulls strapping away for the last podium spot. Let's see if we can get involved in that. The engine wear indicator has just turned on in the bottom right, so we are a bit worn on some components. I believe the ICE is the most worn, and you know, this is our 5th race now with our components. Of course, the component wear is scaled to a 16 race season compared to 23 races. So yeah, we may have to look at changing the engine components for the next race and do a bit of durability work. Right now though, focused on trying to get past Albon. Meanwhile, Russell actually has got into DRS range of Perez, so Russell following me through here and having a pretty strong race, which is great to see. That was a pretty good exit. I don't think Albon, okay, he does just have DRS, even though he's actually over a second behind Gasly, he does still have a bit of DRS. Doesn't mean he's safe though. If I can get the run out of here, it's not too bad. I think I'm a bit too far back though. I'm out of overtake anyway, so yeah, no way through for now. Purple sector 3, but not quite able to get by yet. Okay, we're pretty close here. I wonder, could I possibly... Down the inside we go. A little bit hot on the brakes there, but we get it slowed down and make it work. Nice dive. And we're going to get DRS as well. Albon trying to fire back. He also has DRS, to be fair. So it's going to be a drag race into the final chicane. That's great timing for us as we get the move done. That's also going to send Albon backwards into the clutches of Perez and Russell, who I believe are battling right now. So we're now P4. This is going well for us so far. Oh, Gasly getting a bit out of shape there. It's Albon pits. Interesting. So quite an early stop. Definitely 2-stop territory. We're going quite aggressive on tyres. So that's going to clear the path for Perez and Russell, who are pretty much side by side. And Russell actually is going to try and get the move done into turn 1 as I struggle for traction here. Let's see if we can get past Gasly though. To be fair, I'm expecting Pierre to probably pit this lap if Albon just pit. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Can I beat Pierre Gasly into the pit lane? That's going to be the challenge here. Good exit. We're nice and close. I've got a full bar of ERS to deploy. Can we beat Gasly into the pit lane race? Coming through. Here we go. We're going to go for it. Yes, we've done it. Nice. Beautiful. Great timing on that. And I think we're going to hold up Bottas as well for good measure. He's going to get held by myself and Gasly. So that's worked out beautifully for us. Boxing for the medium tyres here. Looks like everyone else is going for softs. Oh, here we go. Lovely stuff. Look at that. Back out ahead of Pierre. Great timing on that one. Okay, let's see where we rejoin then. A few cars coming through here. Bit of traffic, but it looks like we're going to be out just ahead of it, which is great. As for Russell, though, I don't think he's going to clear this traffic, so not ideal. But look at that. We've actually managed to just rejoin ahead of all those back markers and slower cars. Right, fresh medium's on. Let's get to work then. Let's see if we can fight with Gasly. It's going to be hard. He is on soft tyres, I've just noticed, so it's going to be very difficult. I may have to let him back past, to be honest. Is there really any point in me fighting this, realistically? I don't think there is any point. I think I'm going to let him by on the back straight, to be honest. Just try and see if I can maybe stick with him. That's the plan. So I'll let him go ahead and I'll just try and stick in his DRS, basically. Here he comes. Oh, he's going to go to the outside. And my DRS is going offline. Great. Incredible timing there. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Thanks, game. Really, really appreciate that. Alright, never mind. There goes that plan. Alright, let's just stay on board for a second here. George pits. Let's see where he rejoins. Yep. Let's see what happens here. We've got a bit of traffic as well. And they're all going to box. So that's good news in terms of just making it a bit easier for us to kind of get on with our own race. There's George in the pit lane right now. As we go back to P4. I've got Albon on mediums in the other Red Bull. Worth noting, of course, struggling with car issues. And it looks like George is going to rejoin behind Albon. So let's see if he can keep up his great pace from the first stint and try and fight his way back through. Bottas 108.5. That's the kind of reference we've got to aim for, pace-wise. We're in the high nines. Okay, Hamilton in the pit lane. He's going for the soft tyres though, so he's going quite aggressive. Medium, soft, soft possibly, as we set a new personal best, 1:09.0. That's pretty good, about half a second off the fastest lap of the race from Valtteri Bottas. And I've now managed to creep within 2 seconds of Gasly, so already a bit of tyre work kicking in for those soft tyres and we're starting to make up ground. Meanwhile, Russell behind is on soft, he's chasing down Albon. Oh, that was nice. Absolutely nailed it through there. Still no word on the weather forecast, as my DRS has literally just fixed itself right now as we cross the start finish. So we now have DRS again, which is great, and I'm starting to close up to Pierre. So making good progress here. Let's ask on the weather forecast. Okay. A bit further away than I would have liked. We may have to pit before then, which is not ideal. Okay, I think we can line up Pierre Gasly for the move here. As we go into the hairpin, I almost run into the back of him. Had to kind of get out of it a little bit, which is going to cost me a little bit of momentum on the exit. I wonder if he's going to pit though, because he should be nearing his pit window. Bottas is in the pit, so yeah, I do think Gasly is actually going to pit this lap, if I had to guess. And he does pit, there we go. So that's going to release us into clean air with some DRS. Bottas in there as well. We're staying out until at least lap 25, I believe. So yeah, still no sign of the rain. Still seems a little while away yet.
Looks like rain is inbound, and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the rain dries seem like the best time for now.
Okay, rain in 5. Hamilton in the pit lane right now. So we're going to stay out. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to not pit again. We're just going to wait for the rain. And if we switch to the inters, then so be it. If not, we're going to take these tyres to the end, which is possible. But I will be struggling badly for grip. But, you know, I was P3 anyway, P4. I've got nothing to lose, so we may as well go for it. Oh, Bottas, 1:07.9. Nearly 2 seconds faster than me on that lap. We're starting to struggle now on these tyres. Okay, now it's getting quite dark.
Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, that's a good sign. Rain any moment then. Let's see when it arrives. For now though, Bottas right behind, trying to put some pressure on. It's going to be tough to keep him behind, to be honest. The Mercedes is so fast at the minute. We're nowhere near the Mercedes this weekend around here, but you never know. We might just be able to hold him off long enough before the rain arrives. I'll use my ERS, but I'm not even sure that's going to be enough, realistically. And here we go. The rain is starting to fall. I can see it on my car. We're going to see how long it takes for this rain to take full effect. Bottas getting quite close here. I'm trying to take the right line to make my car as wide as possible. But the reality is he's just got so much more grip than me on those tyres. A bit too slow to move over there. And Bottas just breezes past. And now Hamilton's next up. Oh my god, Bottas, steady on, mate. Don't ruin me there. Oh my god. Safety car deployed. Oh, baby. That is massive. Wait, Hamilton overtook me? No, surely not. What? There's no way I lost the place. That's not possible. I was ahead. I was ahead when the yellow flag came out. Oh, there we go. Now, do we pit for Inters? It's starting to rain.
This rain is going to keep getting heavier for the next 15 minutes at least. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just get the Inters on. I'm going to send it. And just get the Inters on now. Hope for the best. It's a safety car period. We've got to take it. We have to take it, surely. We've got a massive gap behind. Let's hope this works out. Away we go. Intermediates on. We need this rain to just start picking up a little bit of intensity. If it does, that'd be great. I'm going to try and cruise and take it very, very easy on my tyres. I don't want to take too much out of them if possible. But the track is still very dry, I will admit. I really need the safety car to do one more lap here. If the safety car does one more lap, that might just make the crucial difference here in terms of maybe making this work, because right now the track still isn't there yet. Nowhere near. And no, the safety car's in. Damn, this is going to be painful. So we've taken a risk. It hasn't worked, but I still think it might get wet enough. I'm going to persist with the Inters. We're going to go backwards. We're going to drop like a stone. But as long as we are within a pit stop window of the leader, we can still win the race. So I'm aware of the consequences. Let's see what happens then. And hopefully we can make it work. But the track is still very, very dry here. The spray's starting to kick up a little bit. Go on, George. Go by, mate. I don't want to hold you up. You can crack on with your own race on. Go that way, mate. Go that way. There we go. Thank you. Alright, now it's going to be about holding up as much as we can and waiting for this rain to arrive, which just seems to be taking a lot longer. A lot longer than I would have hoped for this rain, I can't lie. There's a little bit of spray kicking up, but it's nowhere near enough. Verstappen with issues. This is also going to absolutely just kill my intermediates, but hey ho. It is what it is, as they say. Cars everywhere trying to pass me right now. I'm just a complete passenger, simple as that. Yeah, don't worry about it, Jeff. We're not pitting now. We're just going to firm it and see what happens. Hope for the best.
Confirmed.
There goes another one. We're not miles off, but this rain does need to start falling. Yellow flag again. Only a fake one though, nothing serious. What is this rain saying?
Conditions are going to keep deteriorating for 10 minutes at least. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Let's see if that is the case. Definitely a bit more spray starting to kick up now. Here comes Stroll, another one coming through. But I can hold my own now a little bit easier than before. Look at this. I'm actually able to defend a little bit. Come on, rain. Please. Please, rain. Yeah, look at that. I'm actually able to hold my own with traction. Not losing out like I was now. The track's got that little bit of like a greasy shine to it now. Here we go. The conditions are starting to get worse. This might still work out for us, which is good. Obviously, mine is going to be overheating like crazy, I think. Just trying to make sure I don't work them too hard. If you notice, I'm being very, very generous. I'm not taking it, Jeff. I'm going to be very generous on the wheel inputs. And it's working out. We're able to actually keep cars behind now. Yeah, this is going well. Stroll's going to go down the inside. That's okay. But in general, we're running at, I think, enough pace that I can keep myself within the pit stop window of the leaders. And I think they are going to have to pit. This is way too early, I think, in terms of rain. Let's hope I'm right, though. I really do hope I've got this right. Stroll goes through. Fair enough. Oh, that's the second warning now. Got to be careful now. I'm on the limit. One more and it's game over. I think we're about to hit the crossover point. I'm starting to pull away from Ricardo and I'm catching back up to Stroll. This is it. This is the moment the crossover is here. We now need to start pushing. Sainz in the pit lane. DRS disabled. Sainz is the only one to call it right. Everyone else is staying out. So this is a crucial lap in this race. Definitely crossover now. Gonna just wait to pass Stroll. But you can see I've got so much more grip. I'm just trying to find a way through here. There we go. Nice bit of traction down there. And that will get us ahead of the Aston. Right, now the question is, are we within the pit window of the leaders? Some cars are still going to stay out, which is interesting. They're not going to pit, and Stroll does stay out for another lap. So just signs pit for the Inters. The AI are staying out on their dry tyres. Are they going to go to the end? Oh, this is going to get spicy. Very, very spicy. Well, this is it then. The AI are complete passengers in this race. Surely they have to pit. And I think they are.
George is going in for
Yeah.
the stop.
They had to pit for Inters. The grip was getting too bad for them. But we've gained so much time on that lap. And look at this, Mercedes stacking both of their cars. And there is Bottas. Gasly stays out on mediums. Are we going to be ahead of Bottas though? It's going to be close. Very close, but we're ahead. So we've managed to make it work. The gamble has paid off. And pitting for the Inters under the safety car has made us leapfrog the Mercedes cars. Now, can we stay ahead? My Inters are quite second-hand, especially on the rear, so we're not going to have the best grip. So can we keep Bottas at bay? That's the question here. Russell's behind Bottas, so Russell is on for a podium again. What a race from George Russell from P8 on the grid. This is going to go down to the wire, folks. And there it is, Pierre Gasly pits finally. Meanwhile, I'm actually pulling away from Bottas here. Gap over 1 second. I'm starting to drop him. We can win this race. Absolutely we can. Here we are then, last lap of the race, out the hairpin. Bottas trying to get close, but I've got a full bar VRS to deploy. Meanwhile, Russell still ahead of Hamilton. This could be a classic. Williams outsmarting Mercedes here. And look at this, after 35 laps, we had no chance of a race win, but we took a gamble with the safety car, and we're going to come through to win in Canada, get in, and extend our championship lead. Oh yes.
Well done, Williams. Certainly showing what they're made of out there today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
It looks like it's time once again to hand out the silverware as the successful drivers make their way to the podium. It was a gritty performance today by Williams, and they've got the race win to prove it.
There we go then, the results are in. We pick up another race win. What a season we're having, it's absolutely insane. Bottas P2 with the fastest lap. George Russell on the podium again, so we replicate our 1-3 race finish from Monaco again for the second race in succession here at Canada. And what a performance from both of us. You know, George as well showing great pace, starting from P8 to P3. What a recovery from him. Hamilton P4, after starting from pole, he'll be very upset with that, ahead of Gasly and Albon, Norris and Sainz, and then Kvyat and Leclerc rounding out the points. Both Aston Martins missing out on the top 10 along with Perez, Ricciardo, Verstappen, who had car issues, Magnussen, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, and Matsushita, who retired from the race. We look at the driver standings, and after 5 races, I believe, we are in the lead, 47 points clear from Hamilton and 52 clear of Bottas. Russell, with 2 back-to-back podiums, moves himself up into P5, and as a result of that, we extend our championship lead in the Constructors even more over Mercedes to 25 points. So we are looking pretty strong right now in both championships, but nonetheless, that is it for the action at Canada. We're now going to head into the menu and put more upgrades on for future races.
How are you feeling after that win?
I feel great. I think it's been a great week, 2 weeks with the win at Monaco, the win today, and the car just felt great, especially in the rain. We actually had some really good pace in the wet conditions. Nonetheless, happy for the team, and we've all put in a lot of work, so it's a great reward.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Yeah, you could say that. I think in general, not just myself, I think George will tell you as well, the car just has been really strong, and when the car drives like it did in the race, that's always such a great sign.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I hope so, but we can't get complacent. We've got to keep it, keep going, and we'll celebrate at the end of the season.
How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
Didn't change a thing for me. I enjoy the rain, good fun. So yeah, I think the top drivers also had the same situation.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Well, after that race, we managed to outscore Hamilton once again, and it seems like at the moment the trend is that we lose points in qualifying and gain them back in the race. Having said that, it does seem a bit too little too late to try and beat him in the rivalry, so we're going to have to take an L on that one, but still, we're leading the championship, and that's what that matters. Okay, here we are then, guys, back in the menu, 1,607 points to spend, so we're going to go ahead and invest those. We do have an ultimate chassis upgrade on the way. I'm going to go back to the durability. I'm going to work on the ICE, which is the most worn component, so we're going to go ahead and purchase a level 2 upgrade to improve the reliability on that part. I'm probably going to squeeze out one more race with this engine. If we quickly go to the engine tab, if I can find it, there we go. We've got 67% on the ICE, 56 on the MGU-K, 50 on the MGU-H, 55 on the Energy Store, 60 on the turbocharger. I think we might race this engine again in maybe Hungary, but for the next race at Austria we are going to go ahead and change the components. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Pretty marginal on the Energy Store and the control electronics, so I think we may have to take an engine penalty at some point this season, but nonetheless, let's skip ahead to the next race in France. And here we are then, so the next race, the French Grand Prix. I thought it was Austria, but I misread, so my bad there. So yeah, France is the next one, round 6 of the season, and after this there'll be 10 more races to go, of course, in this shortened 16 race calendar. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, leave a like. Let's try and smash over 1,000 like ratings for the race win here today. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel, and as always, guys, check out the 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them, and always a big shout out to the members for supporting the content. But guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you next time.